to the cloud. All right, Linda, I'm excited about this because, well, I'm gluten-free and I love chocolate.
Yeah.
And so this sounds like the absolute perfect cake. What do you call it? Torta Caprese?
Caprese.
So, but I always thought Caprese was like mozzarella and tomato salad.
Yes, yeah, that is salad Caprese, but this is Caprese cake, let's say.
So it's from the same region, maybe? Is that why they have the same?
At least this one I read it is about from Capri Island. That's why it's called Caprese.
Okay.
The salad, I think it's all over Italy, so.
Just like, so I will cut and paste it into the chat if you guys missed it already, but Torta Caprese is an Italian flourless chocolate cake that basically contains finely ground almonds. Now, I did have a few people messaged me that wanted to know if they could use almond flour. Have you ever made it with almond flour?
No, okay. Because we like when it's a little bit crunchy. So if they are not finely grinded, it's fine as well.
Okay, so more texture is okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And so it's only a few ingredients.
Yes.
You said almonds. Now, what kind of almonds did you have? I had a hard time finding lots of almonds.
I have these ones that I usually buy.
So it's just whole almonds?
Yeah. Mine as well are not peeled. I usually buy these ones that are not peeled, but it's okay.
All right. So yeah, you're gonna teach us how to peel?
No, we don't peel. We don't peel.
Oh, okay.
We just put in the grinder and that's it.
Oh, make sure you have the extra flavor. Yeah. So I think if you peel the almond, you lose all the flavor. So
I know that if you toast the almonds, you lose the flavors and the nutrients. So I try to buy the one that are not roasted.
Okay, so you tried to buy raw ones. Let's see. Did I?
Yeah, I buy what I found.
I mean, I got this in the bulk section. It says almonds pasteurized organic. It doesn't say if they're roasted or not.
Also these ones, it doesn't say. So I guess they are not roasted.
Well, let me taste one.
When I buy, for example,
that one's definitely raw.
Yeah.
So it's dry but not roasted. All right.
Yeah. Well, I bought these. It says slivered almonds. It didn't have, they were already peeled. There was little pieces.
Okay, that's fine.
That's good.
Yeah. I didn't know what to buy, but I already had almond flour too. But I bought these just in case.
You could probably, I mean, if you had the slivered ones, you could probably do it without mechanical. You could probably try to leave it in a bag and like.
Are you kidding?
Punch it and so. It'll definitely have more texture. Just lay the almonds
I like
out.
Easy is what I like.
All right. Enough talking. Let's get eating.
Yeah, okay. So let's start the
secret. Test your almonds.
30 grams of almonds.
So I have a quick question. The only chocolate that I have is just your everyday Hershey's cocoa powder. Is that okay?
Yeah, you just need a chocolate powder, right?
Yeah.
She did say dark chocolate.
Yeah, and I don't know if
it's not really dark.
That's cocoa powder I wrote.
Say again?
I wrote dark cocoa powder, but whatever you have is fine.
Cool.
Yeah, I had regular, I don't know. I had baking chocolate, but then I came across this one. You recognize that brand?
Ooh. Well, that's the better one.
This was very, very expensive though. So I was like, if I'm gonna make a really good one, let's get a really dark. Because otherwise I just have the cheap, like most of my chocolate cakes, I just have the cheap baking chocolate.
Yeah.
And so
So Linda, can I use the almond flour for this time since I don't have any almonds?
Oh yeah.
Yes, we don't know how much is the weight of the flour, so you can wait that I grind and then I weight the flour.
Okay.
Well, it shouldn't lose weight when you grind it.
Well, I looked online just for a conversion, a conversion calculator thing, and 130 grams of almonds is equivalent to 4.6 ounces.
Yep.
So
how much is it?
But I mean, if you actually, part of it, I always messed up on baking. Always. I never could seem to get it right.
Well, I do too,
until
so
I
that's why I'm
bought this
asking.
little thing right here, an
What is
actual
that?
scale.
Oh, I don't have a scale. Yeah.
Before, when I was always doing it in volume, you never know if like a cup of flour, maybe it has more moisture in it, maybe it has
That's
less
true.
moisture. So definitely my baking has been coming out a lot better when I've been weighing it instead of
Yeah.
going by volume.
Yeah.
But this recipe, I think, would be very forgiving. I mean, if you have too much chocolate, oh my goodness.
No, too
That's
much
terrible.
chocolate is good.
Well,
But
we'll
too
find
much
out.
flour,
Too
too
I'll
much
give it a
flour,
try.
it can be too much dried then. So it's better to wait. We will wait after we grind
Okay,
to tell you
sure.
exactly how much is in grams.
Sure,
All right.
absolutely. Thank you.
So let's,
And I'm going to do my recipe double because
yeah, always.
for my family, yeah.
So what are we doing now? Are we grinding the almonds?
So yeah, we weigh the almonds and then grind them. Oops. Always remember to weigh it with the container on the scale. I tend to forget that. I don't know why.
Do the chair.
Oops. And then it's set to ounces. I need to change it to grams.
Well, 130 grams. You think that's about a cup?
Here, I'll tell you in a second here. I'll take some out and actually. So let's see,
The
130
online
grams.
calculator said it's like 0.565 cups. So it sounds like
How
So
much?
130 grams is, I would say almost exactly a cup.
okay, so that's
Okay.
before they're ground.
Correct.
Yeah, and mine's just a little under a cup, just a slight hair.
But I'm going to double
more
my
than a
recipe.
cup.
Actually, let's see. I used the whole bag. Nope, doesn't quite. I love almonds. What's nice about almonds is it's actually not a nut, really.
No, it's a cup, yes, it's a cup.
Yeah, so people who are allergic to nuts can have almonds.
So 2 questions. Did you say I need a cup of flour? Or you're not
No,
sure
no,
yet?
I mean.
You're just
raw-
whole almonds.
Raw almond is 1 cup. Now, when I finish grinding, I will see. how much.
Okay. And or if it's not a nut, what is it?
It is so if you've ever opened a peach pit
Uh-huh.
and cracked the actual center,
Right?
that center looks just like an almond.
Yes.
So an almond is an undeveloped fruit.
Okay, that's going to say it falls in the fruit category, but it's undeveloped. Okay, that's good to know.
So yeah, I mean, if you go to fancy restaurants, a lot of them now use cashews or almonds as a garnish or something, so they don't have to worry about someone getting allergic, right?
So cashews are not a nut either.
Correct. What is a cashew? A fruit? No.
I don't know. But I'm
It's a-
learning a lot here.
Cashew is the stem of a fruit.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's not. So
So I finished the grind. I will wait now.
all right. I love having a really good grinder. But I mean, I'm looking at the flour, the almond flour.
Oh, you have
It's
some,
100% pure almond flour.
right?
And then I'm looking at what I just ground up and it looks the same texture to me.
Does it?
But
Well, I made mine just kept a little bit of lumpy in it because she mentioned that she didn't want it that fine.
Yeah, I
well,
think
see,
it's the same.
once I
It's the
ground
same way.
one cup of almond flour, well, that's 2. It made like, let's see here.
It's almost the same weight.
Oh, I guess I needed to weigh it, didn't I? Just under 3 cups of flour.
Really?
Yep.
3 cups? How come?
Let's see here. So that was, nope, 2 2/3 cups is what, well, I'm doubling my recipe.
Yeah,
I
you're
apologize.
doubling.
Oh, okay.
So 1 1/3 cups. it
Yeah,
became.
yeah. I was gonna say that's a lot.
Yeah.
So, well, let's see. How much it actually weighs. Oh, Linda said she already weighed it, huh? I mean, it shouldn't weigh any different, you would think. Nope. All right. There's our almond. Well, I forgot I have a different camera. We could actually be looking at what I'm doing. Ta-da!
Now we divide the eggs. So you split the white from the yolk.
Okay, split the white from the yolk. Do you have any trick on how to do that?
No, I do manually.
So what are you doing now? You're mixing your egg with something?
No, for the moment.
Separating the
just
yolks from the
separate
white.
eggs. Separate
My-
the eggs.
see, look at my eggs are all different colors. Look,
Oh.
because see, look, just got laid.
Oh, my goodness.
Put the white
Fresh
one
eggs.
in a.
You want this, oh, you want them separated?
Yes,
Oh, my goodness, I forgot to do that.
and put the white ones in a deep pan because we need to whisk it.
Let's see, work. So we're just saving the white part, right?
Oh, we need also the yolk,
Oh,
but just separate because we need to work in different ways.
so let's see here. I don't know if everybody else has a trick to doing this. I never accomplished an easy way to separate them.
You can buy a little teeny plastic separator. You just put the egg in, it goes right through
Yeah?
it.
That's what I use. It looks like this, or
Just a little gadget. Yeah.
You can
Looks
also
great.
use your fingers.
Yeah.
I use a spoon.
I always just did it like this, just back and forth, and the edge of the
Yeah,
Yeah.
edge of the shell would
the shell. Yeah,
like
this is
cuts
what
it
I
off.
do.
I use a spoon. It catches the yolk in the bowl of the spoon, and then the whites all drip off the sides.
Okay.
I just pick hands.
Oop.
Oh, I just pick up with my hands. Once you put the egg into a bowl, you can just grab the yolk out.
It's
Oh,
'cause
have
need
you
to
seen?
do
I
that.
saw this. I actually need to practice it where they have the little water bottle where you squeeze the water bottle and just can suck the yolk up.
Yeah, I
Oh.
saw that too. Your hands work 100 times better.
Okay, here, I'm gonna just drop it in. And then you just say you just reach in with your hand.
Grab. You
But
did
see,
it.
look, I still
Or-
got the white still. is
I
hooked
know.
to it,
Use
see?
both hands. You just or one hand is fine. You did it. How fast and easy was that?
It's because
Well-
you guys don't have fingernails.
But then the hands are dirty. At least with using the shells, the hands are clean.
Yeah, but look how fast and easy and lazy that was. Especially
Yeah,
lazy.
I've got my separated eggs
Okay.
and the almond. This is the first time I'm cooking with this program, so it's fun.
I'm taking a little longer because I'm doing a double recipe. So keep going, Linda.
Okay, so
We
now
got
we
4
have
eggs so
to-
far.
Now
Okay,
we have
Peter.
to
Okay.
use how they call the whisker for the whites.
Just the
Until it
whites,
becomes
okay.
a foam.
and how long do you whisk? What do you want the final texture to be?
It has to become a foam, a firm
A
foam.
foam, a firm foam.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I put mute.
So you're making like like a meringue or whatever they call it. Now Howard's right. It is a lot easier to pull it out.
So easy and fast. And don't worry, when I'm in the kitchen, my hands are always dirty. So if it's not the eggs making it dirty, it's something else.
I don't think I want to eat your cooking anymore.
Oh, don't worry, sweetie. I can teach you how to cook like that.
Okay, so we beat them to how much do we beat them? The whites.
I bet,
Until they don't want to go to prison.
I bet Howard's gonna whip his egg white with a chopstick.
You do.
No, I mean, are they stiff or just loose or what?
Linda is muted, so she can't respond.
She
but I think
said,
you're
a
making like a
firm-
meringue.
she said
Use
a firm
hand
foam.
mixer, a
So more
hand
stiff.
mixer.
Okay,
We want it to have like stiff peaks that stand up by themselves.
And the
Okay.
reason you want stiff peaks is because that's gonna help make your cake a little loftier.
I mean, this is already a fancy cake. How lofty do we want it? All right. If it's too loud, my backup person can mute it. Let's see. Now I heard someone told me that it based on the temperature of the egg, if it's cold versus it's warm. Do you want it cold or warm for doing this? I don't remember.
It doesn't say on the recipe, so.
Yeah, but if anybody knows which one works better, let me know.
On the recipe did say room temperature eggs.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Really?
well. So, all right, that's done.
Okay, now we can put this one in the fridge, it says.
Put it in what? The fridge?
The meringue
The
in the
white
fridge.
eggs in the fridge for the time being.
So I didn't hear, how stiff are we doing the egg whites? I didn't hear, I'm sorry.
It should be very stiff, very firm.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, so not like this where it's wobbling. I
No,
understand.
no,
Keep
no,
going.
No,
All
more,
right.
high speed, put it on high speed.
I think it's where you need to be able to flip the container upside down and it won't spill out.
Ooh.
Yeah, going slow is not gonna do it. You gotta go fast.
All right, Linda, keep going. My mom's calling me and she never calls me, so it must be an emergency. So
Okay, so now we have to work the 3 yolks with the sugar. So let's take 140 grams of sugar.
What are you saying? Add the sugar?
Yeah, 140 grams of sugar added to the yolk. And let's work.
Oh, wait, to the yolk or to the white?
To the yolk. The whites are in the fridge.
Okay.
So you're mixing the sugar and the egg yolk.
Yeah.
Are you going to beat it as well?
No, you just work manually.
Okay.
all right. Now we're doing the sugar. How much did we say on the sugar? Let's see.
140 grams.
Yeah.
Dang it. I always forget to zero out the bowl. Always. Oops. So the sugar we're mixing with the egg yolks, right?
Yes, yeah.
So. Well, this definitely has a lot more sugar than any of the. Linda usually comes up with really super healthy recipes for us.
It's pretty thick now. I mean, the egg yolk and sugar turns out to be pretty thick.
Mm.
Just look how bright the just freshly laid eggs are. They're almost like bright orange.
Well, that's how mine are. They're just the regular Safeway brand.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I pretty much quit buying store-bought eggs because they were always like this pale yellow. And I was just like,
Mm.
In Mexico, they feed marigolds to the chickens, so the yolks will be yellow, orange.
that's a good trick, I guess. If you have extra marigolds, they probably have modern chicken. They probably have some other kind of way.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I do know, what was it for bright red? It's like a beetle they grind up.
Or didn't you have a smaller bowl?
A smaller bowl?
Yeah.
Oh,
Linda,
think
what
you're
are you
me-
doing over
oh,
there?
she's being sarcastic. I was just like,
Linda.
wait, I can hardly fit in this bowl.
Yes.
What did you just add over there? What did you just do?
No, I just weighed 30 grams of cocoa powder.
Okay.
Oh, you measured your powder already.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Okay,
you
the
didn't
rest,
add it. You didn't add it to anything.
No, not yet. Only add here the sugar to the yolks and I'm working
Uh-huh,
it.
right. Okay.
Ah,
so
cool.
your
Yours doesn't look very orange. Yours doesn't look very orange somehow.
Mine is almost white.
Yeah. Why is that?
Maybe it's the sugar.
I have a question about the cocoa powder. Your recipe calls for 30 grams and you just said 50.
No, 30. I said 30.
30. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't
Yeah,
hear.
no problem. So, or did you add
You see
the?
ours, his egg mixture, egg and sugar are very orange, and mine is
Yeah.
very orange, but yours doesn't look very orange.
Yeah, no, mine are white.
Oh,
It's
why?
he just
Why is
got
that?
eggs that got a darker yolk.
Oh.
I think that Linda has like more of the standard commercial eggs, and me and you probably got grass-fed eggs, or I don't know.
Yeah,
So I just noticed that you added some cocoa powder. What are you doing with that?
Yeah, so now we have to add to this eggs. Let's start adding a little bit of cocoa powder.
All of it?
No, it says a bit of for the time, not all together. So start putting it and work.
Oh, you mean little by little and then
Yes,
add
yeah.
it little by little?
Yes.
And you're adding that to the egg yolk and the sugar. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yeah. After
Okay.
you work a little bit, that one.
Okay, I gotta go do
Well,
that.
Nell was right. I need a bigger bowl.
And I missed how many grams of the dark cocoa powder?
30.
30?
30.
Okay,
Yes.
that's what I got.
Or if you're a pain in the butt like me, double.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'll have to try it once and get it right before I'm willing to double it.
Especially with this good quality cocoa.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't look any different than the cheap stuff.
It'll
smell it.
it'll taste,
Paying for the name.
no, I'm sure it's gonna taste good.
Does it actually say, yeah, where it's from? No, it doesn't. So, all right. Bigger bowl. This. So are you still, are you just using a bowl? I mean, a big spoon for mixing it in? Or are you using a whip?
In the whip.
Okay. And originally I was like, this whip, it's sticking really well. I was like, I don't know how well that's going. All right. So just slowly add the
Yes,
cocoa powder.
the cocoa. Yeah.
Wow. So I either have really big bowls apparently, or really small bowls. The one bowl that's medium is the bowl that comes with my scale here. And I need that to weigh things. All right. But slowly add it. This looks so pretty. I just want to eat this part already.
It is pretty.
But it is raw egg.
Yeah. Yeah, remember the tiramisu also was raw eggs.
That's true. So is this going to be raw?
No, because we put in the oven after.
Yeah, I mean, you in Europe have the advantage of eggs, raw eggs. You can actually eat them. In the
Yeah,
US,
but
we
only if
don't
they
have
are
that.
really fresh from a chicken. Otherwise, I wouldn't try here.
Well, what did we
Well,
read?
I
That
think
in
in
Europe,
Europe,
they vaccinate the chickens
That's right. In the US, they do not.
salmonella, and here we are required to basically cook the eggs really well.
Yeah. But also here, sometimes there are cases of salmonella, so maybe they don't do the right thing.
'Cause-
Well, I've got mine all mixed.
Oh no. Okay, I still didn't finish all the one.
There we go. It looks really good.
Yeah, I'd like to take a bite of it myself, but.
But it is stuck very well to my.
Oh, you used your whisk. Okay.
Yeah.
I
asked
didn't. I used
Linda
a spoon.
because I was just like, maybe.
I
I wonder
used
if
a
it'd be,
spoon, so it went faster.
I just wonder if a spoon or a whisk. Whisk probably mixes it up better, but a spoon is easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that it's becoming thick.
All right, look at that. That's like pure chocolate. That looks like that almost looks like Nutella right there.
Yeah. Well, still haven't added the butter, you know, and the almonds, so more good things are coming.
More good things are coming.
You know, I was surprised that you didn't have in any vanilla, that you were going to add vanilla to it.
No, there isn't in this recipe.
I always wondered why we add vanilla to chocolate stuff.
They always do.
Flavor.
in
I
America.
never understood why that was the case. It's like, why do we want to have like two flavors competing? It's like a very common thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very common. Yeah.
All right, now
I
my
think you
butter,
can still add it. It doesn't
my
harm.
butter is still hard because I didn't take it out of the fridge. So
Well,
Yeah,
she
mine
hasn't
is-
said to order it. I mean, to add it yet.
I'll have to, I was just thinking whether I have to melt it or not.
I would think so. Maybe you can put it in the microwave.
Yeah, I will do the same in the microwave with few seconds.
So is that what we do now? Is add the butter and
Yes.
melt it? Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Let me
yeah.
go do that.
You can start
see
doing
how
that.
much-
Yes. I'm still
How much
fixing
butter do we
here.
need? So it says 120 grams of butter,
Yes. Yeah.
which is,
I did another one of those calculations. I
It's
got
just a little bit over a stick.
Yes, I got 8.4 tablespoons, so.
Does that mean,
So-
how about you're doubling your recipe or?
Oh,
so
you're
my
doubling.
one stick of butter is 114 grams. So two of them is 229.
Wow, it
Yes,
seems a
it's
lot.
So I have to, because I'm doubling mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kept forgetting that, so. And you want to melt the butter before you put it in, is that right? Melt it all the
Yes.
way?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm at 229. So what does that mean? I need another 11 grams?
So we're adding the butter to the chocolate mixture.
I think that's what she's doing, yes.
Are we adding the butter to the chocolate
Yes.
mixture now?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Should I use my beaters for that or just a spoon?
Should you use what?
should, you know, when you add the melted butter, do you use the beater, you know, the electric beater? Or do
No,
you
then
just use
we risk that everything becomes too loose. So it's better to do by manually.
I'm sorry, what did you say? You should use a spoon?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
spoon.
prefer the spoon. Otherwise, you risk that it becomes too loose, too liquid.
Okay.
All right, so
So let's add.
basically that was just over a stick of butter. Regular recipe.
Yes, regular.
So good.
I wonder. I bet you could make this same recipe without the eggs and then just eat it without cooking it.
Yeah, I don't know. Instead of the eggs, you should put something, but I don't know what.
Yeah, but I was just thinking if we did the same recipe without the eggs, then we would and not cook it. You could probably just eat it. Make basically just looking at it. I mean, like a chocolate sauce.
Yeah. It's 120.
Slowly, but melting my butter here.
Okay, 120.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I so want to just take a taste of this. I was just like,
Good.
I just keep reminding myself it has raw yolks in it.
I don't know if you guys know this, but there was a time in the United States where they did vaccinate chickens.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason I know that is because a friend of mine, he's passed away now, but early in his life, he sold chicken vaccines. He was a traveling salesman and he sold chicken vaccines to chicken farmers.
Well, when I grew up, we didn't refrigerate eggs. We just had this circle thing that would hold like 3 dozen eggs, and it was just sitting on the counter.
Right. It's my understanding if you're doing your own chickens and you're not vaccinating them and you're, you know, pasture raised, that kind of thing, that you can just, as long as you don't rinse that coating off, you can still do that.
Right. That's what I grew up being told, that if you didn't wash the coating out, oxygen couldn't enter the egg. But then you still want to wash it right before you used it in case it had like some chicken manure on it.
Right. That's why in a lot of foreign countries, eggs are not refrigerated. You go to the grocery store and they're not refrigerated because they don't wash that coating off like in the US.
Right.
Well, I mean, commercial egg operations, they have so many thousands of eggs that
I know.
I have seen eggs that come out of a commercial operation and they are so coated in chicken manure that it's just like nobody would buy them. So they have to wash them to sell them. So, all right, now that we're talking all that, you really want to like eat eggs, right? But
well,
now it's starting to be spring now. So I actually got these eggs from a friend of mine who has chickens. I got it a couple weeks ago. I asked them, can you make sure I have a dozen like good eggs? Because it's still winter here and the chickens don't lay very much. So I wanted to make sure I had some good fresh eggs.
So is that where my eggs came from you or the same person?
Oh, probably.
You left me some eggs, remember?
Oh yeah. Yep. I said, I just want some eggs, and she actually brought me 8 dozen.
Yeah.
So
oh, wow.
She's like,
well,
they're just barely laying. Here's 8 dozen. I was just like,
oh my goodness.
Well, in this, when spring comes around, I'm gonna have to make something that uses a lot of it, because chickens lay based on how much light there is.
That's right.
So in spring,
well, you know, I remember reading books about.
Look at that now.
Yeah, that's how mine looks too.
So
Yeah,
did you
just like-
already add the butter?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
added the butter.
Okay.
But I was thinking that I've read books about the gold rush in Alaska. And I believe that they used to send, lots of eggs up there, but they were frozen and people would buy them. Have you ever heard of that?
Well, I
I've
freeze
seen-
them now sometimes.
I've seen frozen eggs, once they're cracked and put in a
Yeah.
thing, but
Yeah, not prior to.
otherwise, I mean, I remember as a kid going out to like harvest the eggs, and where the chicken, like some of the more immature chickens wouldn't lay them in the nesting boxes. They
Yeah.
just randomly lay them, and then in the winter they would end up freezing. So we'd find them and they'd be slightly cracked.
Right.
And
'Cause
so
they-
you'd have to know that
Not to
once
eat
it
that.
thawed
way.
out, it would like go everywhere if you didn't put it
I
in a
think
bowl.
during the war, they had powdered eggs for the soldiers.
Just like,
They have in in wars, they do. They still do it in the MREs.
that just sounds nasty,
Yeah.
but I don't
Well,
know.
if you're hungry, you'll take an MRE.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I
Yeah.
guess if you're hungry, you'll eat anything.
Just
All right.
about.
So I've got my chocolate done.
So what are
Yes.
we doing now, Linda?
Add the what's the name?
Let me
Baking
find.
soda?
Baking powder. The baking powder.
Oh, no. You said baking soda. Is it
Okay, it's the
baking
same, right?
No,
No, they're not the same.
Okay.
Is it baking powder or baking soda?
In the
Really
recipe, it
important.
says baking soda.
Baking soda, yeah.
Soda.
It says baking soda. Okay. For me, it's the same.
I-
So I use the same.
I always get confused by the difference, and it will yeah.
Make a
Okay,
difference?
we add baking soda to the chocolate?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
One
And
teaspoon.
this one's an actual measurement. Why isn't it a weight? Just like everything else is a weight. Why not this?
It's a little tablespoon, teaspoon.
Teaspoon. Linda, you're making the same mistake I make every time. I mix
I
up
know.
baking soda and baking powder, and I mix up teaspoon and tablespoon.
But because in Italy, we don't have this, so I have to adapt to what I have here. In Italy, we have different things like, no, this is different. I finished the Italian one.
All right, so again, 1 teaspoon, but I'm
Yeah.
doubling my recipe, so I'll put 1 tablespoon.
No, 2
No,
teaspoons.
3 teaspoons, I think, make a
But 2
tablespoon, don't they?
teaspoons is a tablespoon.
No, 3.
No,
No,
3 teaspoons equals a tablespoon.
yeah.
Really?
Someone's agreeing with me.
I agree. 3 teaspoons make a tablespoon.
Oh, okay.
Confirmed.
Maybe that's why you have trouble baking.
Maybe so.
You think?
All this time I thought, oh my
Odd,
goodness.
dude.
I feel
Odd.
like
And then it gets even better because 6 tablespoons equals like a quarter cup or an eighth of a cup.
Something like that, yeah. I don't
What is the
remember that one.
difference? What is the difference between baking soda and baking powder? Do you know?
One has random starch in it. The chemical in play is the same. It's sodium hypochlorite, I think.
oh, so
No, sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate is in both, but baking powder is sodium bicarbonate plus a edible starch to sort of dilute the
so
amount of
basically it's
bicarbonate.
baking soda, but less of it.
Less of it, yes.
I
Okay.
thought in baking powder it had something that activated that helped it.
Oh, the yeast you need?
No, not yeast. It's a chemical reaction
It
that.
creates carbon dioxide, I think,
Yeah,
which
I think
makes
it's
things fluff
an
up.
acid. It's an acid.
The sodium bicarbonate is going to do it on its own.
So
Well-
my baking powder says it has cornstarch, sodium bicarbonate, sodium aluminum sulfate,
Yep.
and monocalcium phosphate.
You can make your own baking powder, and it is, I think, 2 parts baking soda and 1 part cream of tartar.
Yeah.
So
I have
I
heard
make
that.
my own baking powder.
What's in cream of tartar then?
I sub for
That's-
baking powder all the time by just putting in 2/3 the amount of baking soda for the amount of baking powder called for.
That would help, because then you could just have one thing. You wouldn't have to have more.
So
Because I
what,
always have plenty of, it's interesting because you get this little teeny thing of baking powder and you get this huge thing of baking soda, and this is the one that's more
Right.
concentrated.
Right.
I just
So
also
now we
want
can add the almonds.
is usually finer ground than baking.
What are you
soda.
doing, Linda, now?
We can add the almonds.
You add the almonds now.
Yes.
In my
Okay.
case, I'll have to do it the other way around because my
Right.
almonds are the big pot.
Ah, okay.
And I'm adding 1 1/3 cup of almond flour, correct?
Yep.
After you measured.
For me, it was 200 grams more only.
Oh, this looks so good.
Or you need to get out one of your bigger spoons again and stop using that small spoon.
Oh, yeah. Well, not the spoons, but these,
Yeah, there you
Spatulas.
go.
I love
Spatula.
spatulas.
that makes it
Exactly.
so, yeah, I mean,
If you watch Linda, she's really stirring it.
Yeah.
all right.
I think the secret is in lots of stirring.
Yeah.
Well, technically I could put this right in the mixer there and let
Right.
it.
But it becomes too loose then.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
she
think
said
it's too
no
liquidy, she
mixer.
said.
Don't want to move it fast because it'll loosen up too much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta
Want a
stir
nice
a long
thick-
time. Keep on stirring.
Again, I don't want to. I want to eat some of this. Just keeps looking
If
so
you
much
use the
better.
flour, what I'm finding is I find little pieces of flour that I have to kind of bust open. There's like little clots in here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where I guess
That's
like.
why you wanna stir a lot. And she,
Yeah.
Linda's.
Well, that's why
Linda-
a lot of times when you do pastry, you run it through a sifter to get the clumps
Well,
out, right? When you
yeah.
do
Linda's
fine
using
pastry,
a
but you
whip.
can't do that with
Li-
almond flour.
Linda's still using a whip and her thing is more liquidy than yours. I don't know what
Yeah,
happened
look
to her.
at my,
Yeah,
Maybe
mine
the
is,
eggs, you know, her eggs were bigger or something.
mine is, I don't know how you can show it. Mine is thick. See how thick
Mine
mine
is
is?
thick also.
Yeah, look at Linda's.
I
Mine's really
did.
thick.
Hers is,
So, yeah.
Did
Little
you,
bit.
See how it
Linda, did
drip?
you already add your almonds? Did you add your
Yes.
almonds already to that? Your
yeah.
almonds.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, ours are all thick and yours is runny.
maybe
Yeah, I
I
wonder
should
what
use the
happened.
whisk.
yeah, mine's thick. Mine's kind of like chunky.
Yeah, me too.
But
Maybe-
don't worry, because now we will add the egg white,
And that'll
so it
thin
will
it
make
up.
more loose.
Yeah.
I'm
And
trying the
Don't worry,
whisk.
it's all about the flavor.
Yeah, right?
Again?
It's all about the flavor.
What about salt? Do you add salt?
No.
No, no salt. Okay.
With no
All right.
salt, it's gonna be good for my high blood pressure.
So now we add the egg whites.
Now we're adding the egg whites.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, since my egg white bowl is bigger than my chocolate bowl, can I add the chocolate to the egg whites?
It shouldn't matter which way you're doing
I
it.
know, in fact, it shouldn't matter.
Her egg whites weren't stiff enough, or
Yep.
it'll turn into soup.
Mhm. My egg
I
soup.
always say fold it in, fold it in. So you.
That's what I was gonna say. Are we folding it in, quote
Oh,
unquote?
I just realized
Yeah.
I have some heat coming off of there because I've got that.
Oh,
That's not probably good. Was doing it overheat. It's
That's
got a
why-
pilot light on my stove there, so there's a hot
so they
spot right there.
didn't get cool, yeah.
So yeah, that wasn't good. But here we go. So mine probably won't be as light and fluffy as yours because
You didn't whip your egg whites enough, I think.
A lot of times when I
And then
make
my pan
things.
right here is warm because I had it over that
Oh, yeah.
pilot.
Sometimes when I make things for the first time, I serve it to my family and I call it one of Leslie's edible creations because it's not what it's supposed to be, but we can eat it. So maybe you're making an edible creation, or.
I mean, it doesn't look bad, but
No.
I don't think it'll be as light and fluffy as your guys's.
Okay.
And then I didn't know what size baking pan, Linda.
Yeah, me too. You have to check based on what you have in your bowl.
So I was gonna do a bunch of little ones. I got these little hearts,
Yeah, good.
heart-shaped ones, and then I got these. I like making little rum cakes, so I got these little.
Okay.
That's nice. Do you think an 8x8 is too big?
Well, I just bought this silicone cake pan. I've never used it before. I'm going to use it. It's only 8-inch, I think.
I want to see if I have something.
This type of thing. It's supposed to be come out real quick. You know what I mean? When you bake it in that. Has anybody ever used these? Silicone.
No, but I'm interested.
Yeah. So I guess we put it in the cake pan and then we put it in the oven. Voila.
And do you butter or spray any oil on your cake pan?
Usually in Italy we use butter.
Butter.
Up to you what you want to use.
And what temperature for the oven?
It says 160 degrees for 30 minutes.
160, is that fair?
160 is Celsius.
Okay.
That's 325 Fahrenheit.
Thank you. I was just getting ready to do that.
I have a list of them written on my cupboard.
350?
325.
325.
325. Okay.
Yeah. What do you call it, Suzanne? If you want to post that on our Facebook page, if you have a link to that conversion.
So we determined that 8x8 is a sufficient size.
I think you have to do by your eyes because I also have a small one and I realize it's too small because it's better that it doesn't go out when it cooks. So I took a bigger one.
How much is it going to rise? Do you know?
But usually it's very low.
Dense, kind of dense.
It doesn't rise too much because we didn't have the rice apart from this baking soda.
And I didn't know if my flour would make mine rise more, but I looked at the ingredients and it just, the only thing it has in there is almonds, so maybe not.
Yeah, so that's why it usually is very low, it doesn't rise.
Good.
But just in case, I took a bigger one.
Yeah, another mistake I almost always make baking is I don't allow my oven to warm up enough before I put stuff in it.
I finally got that, but I think I had to turn 60. I must have gotten patient in my old age. I used to just put it in the oven anyway. Now I wait.
You want to preheat your oven before you start doing anything else. Turn on the oven.
Yeah, we should have.
Otherwise you'll forget.
And then you have to wait.
I have a pretty small oven, so it heats up pretty quick, but yeah, it's like, how about all of you? How much chocolate are you getting everywhere? And this
so
one,
after you put some butter, we usually put some flour that absorb.
Okay.
But then you remove the excess.
Okay, so what's generally the cooking time?
What?
The cooking time.
30 minutes for 160 degrees Celsius.
No, the cooking, how long do you keep it in there?
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
30 minutes, okay. Mine's going in.
And if this was one of those magic shows, we'd basically put this in the oven and then we'd pull one out right away. That's how all the other shows do it. So on the recording, we're not going to show that, but we'll show some pictures afterwards, what they look like. But of course, anybody else who's going to stick around here, we'll be chatting about random things about the world, and then we'll show how it looks like afterwards.
Yeah, I think half an hour we can wait.
Oh,
So-
boy. I hope it turns out.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I did taste it. You said not to taste it, but I'm not one of these people that always taste the bowl. So, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking again, if I'm going to try this one time without the eggs and just see how well it
You have to
does.
see, you have to search what to put instead of the eggs.
Well, I was thinking if I didn't put the eggs, it would be drier. And then you could just make chocolate balls and just eat them. But then you couldn't put the baking soda also, of course. But
I'm
Well,
sure
or
there
if
is
I'm just gonna make truffles.
very similar to a truffle recipe, yeah. All right. I think I got enough here to make another one. Fred didn't yell at me. I reverted to using the spoon again. I don't know what, just like, I grew up cooking with just very few tools.
I wasn't watching her, but I was listening. You need to get some silicone spatulas, more than one.
Oh, well, I've got 3 of them,
Oh, okay.
but this is the only big one I have.
You have 3 spatulas and you don't use them?
Correct.
You know what? This is really good.
What you need is to put a little jar and put all your
Hey, I know
spatulas so you can
a bunch of
grab
spatulas.
one and then,
Yeah,
whenever
they
you
are.
need-
They're right up below. I've got the computer up on a shelf here, and right
I
below
was
it,
gonna
I've
say,
got.
you don't use the same one. You got to keep rinsing it off. You get a new one, and you just. When you need
But see, the
another
other one. Look, the other one is.
Oh, I
half the
know the
size.
tiny little heart one. Work has a tiny little heart one. It came with a little chef's hat.
And then I've got.
He's too big a
This-
guy to have a little pee-pee thing.
Then this is
spatula.
the one to decorate a cake, and I don't know. This is the one I really like. It has kind of a scoop on it,
Yeah.
so you
Oh,
can
that's
actually.
But it
nice.
doesn't-
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't wipe the inside of the bowl as good as the others.
Technically, the scoop one is called a spoonula.
Spoonula.
Yeah, in case anybody ever wants to go look for them, I learned that recently, and now I'm so excited to be able to share that piece of information that I learned with others.
A
So
spoonula.
is
There
that
you
like
go.
a spork and a?
Yeah, it's not like a
What was that?
sport.
No, it
That's
was a
what I was
professional
gonna.
chef, and he was opining about his favorite spoonulas, and I said, "What on earth is a spoonula?" So he pulls it out, and I'm like, "Oh, I never knew it had a different name."
So, or are you putting them in your oven before your oven's hot?
No, I heard the
You got ready that quick. Wow.
yeah. So my oven is, because my house is teeny. My house is 300 square feet.
Yeah.
This oven is half the size of,
Like a full-size, normal,
yeah.
typical house in America.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
'cause
it's a
mine's only-
teeny.
Mine's
And
only.
so
up to
I
3
actually
inches.
heard the flames, shut off. So that means it hit
So
the
you knew it
temperature.
was ready. Okay, that's good.
But I did get chocolate a few
So I
places.
put in the oven now.
So
Yours is in the oven too?
Yes.
Okay. Mine's not warm enough yet.
I preheated my oven, when we were doing our stuff, you know what I mean? I preheated the oven, so
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, you're in Las Vegas, isn't it always hot?
it's not hot now, I can tell you that.
Really?
So All right.
But I have a dishwasher, which I never use. I use just for storing things. And so I have already washed everything up. You know, that's how my mother used to do. She was a baker and she'd be washing everything up as she went along. So that's what I've done too.
I haven't washed things, but I keep, anytime I spill something, I wipe that.
Good
So
for
I
you.
don't have to clean that. But I put all mine in these little teeny front pans.
Hot pans. Oh, okay.
I had 2 of them that were heart shaped. So
I wonder if they'll stick. You think they'll stick?
oh, I sprayed them first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But so anybody have any final questions about how this went?
I think it went pretty well, Linda. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I just hope, I can't hardly wait to taste it.
yeah. When
Well,
it's, when it's done, remember to put some icing sugar on the top.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
So some people had almond flour. Seemed like you could just get the almond flour, mix it with some cocoa and some butter, and you've got yourself a chocolate ball.
That's true.
Yeah.
Don't
That's
have to
true.
wait until it comes out of the oven. You could do that right
Right.
now.
I want to report on whoever got salmonella.
No eggs, no eggs.
Well, I was
just talking-
Me, because I always flick the pan. whenever
I just
make
licked
cake.
it too.
I was just talking about almond powder, cocoa powder,
Yeah.
and a little butter mixed together, and that's it.
That's for when you don't want to cook it, you want to eat it immediately.
Yeah.
Well, then you'd be eating those. Oh, you said that you wouldn't add the eggs though. Is that what you said, Art?
Correct. I'm just saying, if you want to make a chocolate ball right now. Yep, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna melt a little butter,
Oh,
and in my bowl, I had a little chocolate powder in the bowl still, so I just
Oh,
added some
you
almond
couldn't
flour
stand
to
it,
it.
could you? You just had to have some chocolate, huh?
And now I'm melt a little butter,
So I
and
have
I'll just mix that
question
together.
about the recipe that we are doing.
See?
So it cooks for 30 minutes. Is there any sort of checking for doneness? Let's say your oven is hot or cold, runs too hot or too cold. Is there any way to check for doneness before taking it out? Or do you just trust that 325?
We usually use the
What,
toothpick.
the toothpick test?
Do the
Yeah, the toothpick. So you
Or
put
knife
inside.
then.
If it's it comes out dry, it's okay. If it's moisturized, you have to do a little bit more.
Okay, and then how soon? So I'm not sure what that icing sugar is. Is it just powdered sugar?
Yeah, it's the powdered one.
sugar.
It's
Yeah,
the
a powdered
one.
sugar.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
sprinkle it on the top.
at
When
what
it comes
point?
out.
At what point do you let it cool a little bit? Do you leave it in the pan and eat it out of the pan?
No, it's when it's too warm, we don't eat it. So let's cool it down and then put some icing sugar.
And do you leave it in the pan?
Maybe it's better to remove it because otherwise it sticks to the pan and then you cannot remove it.
So let it cool for a little bit, pop
Yeah.
it out onto a cooling rack and then
Yeah.
transfer it and then once it's cool, sprinkle it with the.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was my question.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, the picture that R had put up for this cake, it was taken out of the pan.
I didn't
Yeah.
see the picture.
You remember the picture? It's a beautiful picture, really.
I'll go
Yes.
When anybody sees that picture, they want to make that cake.
We
Look
know
at
we
there,
want.
that right there is just cocoa, the almond flour, and a little butter.
So you're gonna just go to it and start eating it, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, I know, it must taste
You need some
good.
blueberries to go with that.
Yeah, I was thinking.
You
the
need
same.
some
Blueberries
sugar.
and red wine and chocolate.
So actually, it might need a little bit of sugar because I didn't put sugar in it.
Uh,
Oh, yeah. Gotta
so
have
you're getting
sugar.
Yeah, it
chocolate,
tastes
but
like-
not sweet chocolate. Yeah.
It tastes like a dark chocolate, basically.
That
Because the
sounds good,
almonds have
though.
a slightly sweet taste to it.
Also, never trust food photos because they're done professionally and it never comes out the way they look in the fancy pictures.
So I have
Actually,
a question about the cooling it on a cake rack. I don't have a cake rack. I've just never had one. I had a cookie rack once and it's disappeared. So I've just let my stuff cool either in the pan or put it out
Take
on
the
a
rack,
plate.
take the rack out of your oven.
Oh, that's an idea. Is it really important to cool it on a rack instead of something
Well,
else?
you
No,
can
I
put it
don't
on
have
a
the
flat
rack, for
plate or
example.
something.
It will
I don't
cool
have the rack,
quicker,
so
right?
in a dish, maybe if you have it.
Yeah. I just
So maybe-
wondered if if it should get a rack someday. I've just never done that.
I
And
never
just allows the air to circulate underneath so it'll cool off better
All right.
or more evenly.
Okay, that's good to know.
It might
All right.
also continue to cook after it's in the oven.
If I
you
don't
sit
take it
on
out
a
of the
flat
pan.
surface, so on the rack, it'll allow that bottom to, to cool off rather than scorching it or something, because there's still heat
Okay.
in it.
All right.
Yeah, I've
Anybody
seen that
have any
happen with
final
cookies.
questions for Linda?
Thank you. It was really
Thank
nice.
you very much for
Thank
sharing.
you, Linda.
Yeah.
I always like the very simple, few ingredient recipes
Yep.
that are
Yeah,
just,
thank you.
They are
But you
simple.
know, this recipe wasn't that simple. I mean, there weren't that many ingredients, but it was the process, between this
Yeah.
and that, the other thing was more complicated.
Yeah.
the
But
layer.
were you here when we did the tiramisu? Also, it was few ingredients and very simple to do.
So I have to admit, my kitchen is the cleanest it's ever been on any of these cooking shows. It's so nice.
All right. Any final ones? I'll wrap up the recording. All right. Thank you very much, Linda.
You're welcome.
I forgot. I
Caprese.
forgot. How do you say thank you in Italian?
Grazie.
Grazie.
It's just like
Chile.
Grazie.
Grazie.
Prego, prego.
So, Linda, you're coming in from